before this story begins. If you love emotional Western stories, forbidden love, and untold frontier legends, hit like and subscribe now. Because this is not just a love story. This is the moment that changed the Wild West forever. The sun was sinking low over the endless plains, painting the sky in shades of gold and fire. Dust drifted softly across the prairie as a lone-covered wagon stood still, as if waiting for something fate itself had promised. That was where they met. No music. No words. Only silence, heavy with meaning. He was a man shaped by the frontier, broad shoulders, worn coat, and eyes that had seen too much loss. His hat cast a shadow across his face, but it couldn't hide the conflict burning inside him. The Wild West had taught him one rule: never stay too long, and never love too deeply. She stood before him in a simple cream dress, her hands trembling just slightly. She had crossed deserts, buried dreams, and survived storms that would have broken most souls. Yet nothing in her journey had prepared her for this moment. They locked eyes. And suddenly, the world felt smaller. The wagon behind them creaked softly in the wind, horses shifting their weight, unaware they were standing witness to a turning point in history. Their love was never meant to exist. He was a drifter, a man with enemies behind him and danger ahead. She belonged to the land. Tied to promises, family, and a future already decided for her. The Wild West didn't forgive love like theirs. They had met weeks earlier when his horse collapsed near her family's land. She had offered water when she should have turned away. He had smiled when he should have kept riding. Each meeting after that felt stolen: brief glances, quiet conversations, and laughter whispered under open skies. But love doesn't ask permission. It grows in silence. Now, at sunset, the truth stood between them like a loaded gun. If I stay, he thought, I lose everything. If I leave, she knew, I lose him. Forever. The wind picked up, tugging at her hair, brushing against his coat. He reached out slowly, as if afraid she might vanish like a dream. When his hands touched her waist, the world stopped. No kiss. No promises. Just an embrace, deep, desperate, and full of everything they couldn't say. In that moment, the frontier wasn't lawless. It wasn't cruel. It was human. Tears welled in her eyes, but she didn't look away. She pressed her forehead against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. Steady, strong, and breaking. This is goodbye, she whispered, though her lips barely moved. He tightened his grip, memorizing the way she felt, the warmth, the truth of her existence. If he let go, he knew he might never feel whole again. The sun dipped below the horizon. Golden light faded into shadows. And the Wild West changed. Because stories like theirs didn't stay buried. In the years that followed, people spoke of a drifter who gave up his gun for a homestead far from trouble. They whispered about a woman who refused every offer of marriage until one quiet evening, a familiar figure returned from the horizon. No one knew the full truth. But they felt its echo. Love softened the land. Hope followed the trails. And silence became legend. That single embrace beside the wagon proved something the Wild West never believed. That even in a land built on survival, love could rewrite fate. And sometimes, the quietest moments leave the loudest mark on history. If this story moved you, like this video, subscribe for more cinematic Western legends, and tell me in the comments. Backhand index pointing right: should he have stayed, or was leaving the bravest choice?